All right. All right. All right. So you guys can hear me. I know that the audio isn't the best. I had this up too. But YouTube is now allowing to like stream through your webcam and not through a stream key. If you have a laptop, which is great, that's probably been around for a little bit now. I just haven't streamed through my. I haven't tried streaming through my computer in quite some time. Um, I know I'm a little bit laggy. It's mainly my computer, and and possibly because I am literally on the sixth floor. I hate heights. Anyways, I decided that we'd do a Q&A. I decided to bring back the debate panel. I want to reference and preface very well that I'm not trying to be Charlie. I'm not trying to do any of that. But I used to do this a while back. Um, and I stopped it for quite some time. I don't think we've done the debate panel in over a year now. I wanted to bring back now that like all this stuff that's happening, not even just with Charlie, but with a lot of other things around the world. And I want to hold a panel to where the chat can ask me questions. So I'm looking at the live chat. There's also the Q&A. You can ask your questions in there if you want it separate from the chat, or you can ask it in the live chat. Um, I kind of wanted to do this first one myself, um, especially since I don't really use StreamYard anymore. Um, and I wanted to do it straight through YouTube. I didn't want to do it on Instagram because they censored me quite a few times after the shooting and after the release update of who it was. Uh, so I don't care if you are liberal or Republican. It doesn't matter to me. I just want everybody's opinions on Charlie and everything. Now, for me, um, I spoke to him a couple times through social media outlets. Um, so that person, not like a close friend, but became a mentor of some sort to me. Um, and I know not a lot of people got that opportunity. So obviously, I'm going to put it right out there. I am Republican, and that's not why I side with him. I side with him because he came up with values, and not just political values, like life values as well. Got me more into religion and other stuff, despite the entertainment that you see that I produce on here or on Instagram. I just want to get people's thoughts. It doesn't matter if you're on his side or not. I want to know people's thoughts on it. Um, Sun Warriors says it's not anything about the political shit to me. It doesn't mean anything compared to the loss of a human life. Someone's life was taken too early and unfairly. Praying for his family. Um, you know, it wasn't. It's never right. Something that I've realized from what I've seen on social media, as much of as I've been trying so hard not to pay attention to that shit. Um, to what I'm just even in the news, is these Democrats that put this rhetoric out there and then claim that Charlie's the one doing it. Um, I've seen countless videos of people just laughing about his death. Um, X exploded with a bunch of liberals cheering it on. Um, there's One other thing is that his family was there that day. They were able to make it to that one because it was literally the last one before he started up his tour, his new tour, right? And I can't imagine how it feels for not even just a toddler, but like a 1, 2-year-old child who's standing there, and for obviously for his wife too, but to stand there, be there, and have to watch your father do the thing he loves and get killed for it. I the person who sent me the video, um, they sent it to me privately through text before it hit, um, the algorithm, the actual video. I think it was, like, on the algorithm for maybe about 30 minutes before Instagram took it down, which tells me a lot about where Instagram stands in this, and but a lot of people say that they regretted seeing it, and I'm kind of in between about that shit, you know? I sat there and I watched it over and over and over and over again. I even did a frame by frame at one point because I was like, "Oh, this can't be right. This can't be true." And I saw the impact hole. I saw how big it was. Very high caliber round. And I saw it all come out, and they didn't just hit one, they hit both carotids. I stopped believing that whole entire thing that, oh, the security was inside job because I looked it up and his security was the same as it's been for years. Those weren't hand signals. Literally, the one guy was scratching, the other guy was, it was people, and the one guy was holding folded up paperwork, rolled up paperwork. So that shit's bullshit. No, yeah, I believe that the kid at the microphone should be interviewed. I don't give a fuck that you just found the killer. I mean, I do, obviously, I care about that, but you should be apprehending that kid at the microphone too. I had to listen to it twice to understand what was happening. Charlie countered the kid's question with his own question so that he could get context and understand what the kid was asking. And the the kid answered with "Okay, great." There was no emphasis in what he was saying, no emphasis in his voice at all. That was cue because on cue. Now the kid's not a professional per se, right? 22-year-old kid, but he has marksman training. They found that out. That's scary to me. We have the left is hiring kids to do this shit. I mean, you look at the shit from when Trump was on his campaigning. Not once but twice they tried to take him out, and it was a kid who did it. Like these aren't like grown, fully mature people, like past the age of like 25 or something. These are like 19, 20-year-old fucking kids. And then the left is trying to spin, "Oh, well, he's gonna get a lawyer and we're gonna bring up mental health." What mental illness did this kid who shot at Charlie have? What, anger management problems? I had that when I was younger, and I got help for it, but I didn't get put on medication. I didn't, like, have to go to court. I didn't try to hurt somebody in the process. Anger issues? Yeah, a lot of people have those. I'm sorry to say, but it's not a fucking excuse. Um, wasn't it a sniper round? Yeah, yeah. Let me catch up on these. Wasn't it a sniper round? Yes. Uh, it it was. It was, and it was a high caliber one too. Like, that was I mean, that was a large penetration entry point that it made. Like, that was pretty goddamn large. I would say that's about a dollar coin size entry wound that was in there. So it was it was a very high caliber, um, definitely from a sniper rifle. Um, Mad says, "Now I'm not political or anything, but that innocent man lost his life. He was 31, his family. That's what tore me apart." And then you have Dems on TikTok saying their party is absolutely horrible. Yeah, that's the thing. They're saying that he had hateful rhetoric, but what hate did this man put out there? I mean, I'm not gonna say this person's name because I'm trying to stay cool with this person. This person thought that I made a story about him when I said the "fuck you" thing. I meant like the far left, very far left. I was saying "fuck you" too on my Instagram, but he did bring something up to me. Obviously, it kind of struck a chord for me, but at the same time, I had to keep in mind like I don't want to be spewing hate towards people I have respect for. Right? Everybody has opinions. But one thing he brought up was like, oh, he was extremely racist. And I sat there and went, "Yeah, I mean, that's your opinion against the facts, though. Like, where is he being racist? Like, why does, not just him, but like, why do people who are not even just far left, but that are democratic sit there and fucking put this bullshit out and have no evidence to back it? What evidence do you have? Oh, an Instagram clip that's maybe 30, 45 seconds. But then you don't have the full context. You go on YouTube, you go to Charlie Kirk's channel, not Turning Point, not Turning Point, Centered or whatever it's called. Um, you go to Charlie Kirk's official YouTube channel, and he would have his team posting full 1 to 2 hour fucking events that he'd do. Some of them 3 or 4 hours, and that's where you'll find the full context. It's not like cut, spliced all over the place like it is on social media. And they don't want to look at that. They want to look at what'll gain them some monetary value, put them in the spotlight, whether it's bad publicity or good publicity. The Democrats want there to be attention. They want to be shined upon in the spotlight. And it's saying that he's racist, and I'm like, but there's nothing that he's ever said. Like, I've watched his videos. I now have a public playlist that I created so that everybody could see it. It's on here on my channel, a public playlist called just simply that I made last night called Charlie Kirk. And all I'm putting on there is all of his debates. And there's he's not racist. But all you people see online, and I understand why the Utah governor said, "Please be careful." It's like toxic online right now on social media, on all platforms, even on the news. Like, you get more of a context when you see the full entire thing and not just bits and pieces of it. Nobody deserves to be killed based on their own opinions and beliefs. And I don't see that's the difference between Democrats and Republicans, right? Democrats will say, "Oh, we're against the hate," but then they'll do exactly what they say they're against. This that's the craziest part is they'll spew hate rhetoric all over the place. Republicans, here's our difference between us and them. We sit there and most of us, yeah, I'm not saying all of us, but and I'm not speaking for everybody, but most of us are Christian based or in somewhat way religious. We have follow some spirituality in our lives, and also we don't spew hate. We respond in the most appropriate action and or manner that we can without trying to create some type of controversy. The left won't do that. They'll battle the right at every which fucking point they can, no matter what corner you turn in. That's what they're doing with this now. I haven't watched the actual footage, I don't wanna see it. My mom didn't want to either, but I made her listen to it at least. That way she understood the context of the situation. Um, yeah, Teddy says, "I unfortunately saw the video this morning. I cried myself to sleep knowing it happened in front of his babies." I can't imagine being a small child or a toddler even and seeing your father who is doing what he knows is right, not even just for the country, he was an icon, he was a symbol for the world. Netanyahu, he was, like, really close friends with him. Not like he was extremely close friends with you wouldn't expect that. He was friends with government officials in other countries, even warfare countries, war-torn countries, maybe countries that weren't so favorable of us. Didn't make him a bad man, he just wanted to get along with everybody, despite the opinions he may or may not have about them, and he'd still get along with them. That's the craziest part. Name me one person that you have seen in the past 20, 30 years that has sat there, done this, and then has become friends even with the enemies and still taken no part in any warfare going on between countries or anything. And just sits there and respects them. For fuck's sakes, he became friends with fucking Gavin Newsom. Yeah, the devil in California. He was friends with him, and they didn't even get extremely political. They were friends. He was on Newsom's podcast half the time. I, he was friends with Bill Maher. Like these are Democrats. These are people you wouldn't expect a Republican to be friends with, and he was. Because he knew spiritually in his heart and he was in the right state of mind to be like, "You know what, Ed, despite our differences, we can still be okay." I don't agree with everything he says, but most of it I do agree with. If you don't mind me asking, what let's just go one thing at a time. What don't you agree with from him? You can just state one thing, if you don't mind me asking. I know my camera's not that great. Get something to clean it while I wait for who's all still on here? Did Mads did Mads leave? Guys, like I put in the description and like I said in the beginning here, not I'm just trying to have calm demeanor debates. Okay, where's trying to find her account. Oh, there it is. Okay, well, I guess she's not here. We know everything that Charlie did, and I mean, that's true. I mean, it's there. He posted everything he talked about in full. I mean, yeah, he made some clips of like most impactful moments, but he posted in full here on YouTube, like everything he talked about. We aren't to hate or judge others based on their views or opinions. That's not our place. And that's true. I agree with that. Regardless if people hate him or love him, no way. And I mean, nobody should have to die because they have an opinion. Yeah. And I'm not gonna sit there and like state that I think Democrats should be doing. Yeah, I'm not gonna say that. I swear to God, if a Democrat sees this and he goes, "But you just said it," I'm like, "Yeah," because I was giving context. Exact fucking shit that Kirk would do. I'm friends with people I disagree with on many things. He was a good example of how politics and debating needs to happen. It wasn't just politics when he debated, though. For God's sakes, this man would debate about food. Like I'm stating that like he was a symbol because he didn't just make it all about politics. He'd debate about God. He'd debate about politics. He'd debate about food. He'd debate about sports. He'd debate about everything, and not almost everything that anybody would bring to him, whether it was political or not. Now, debates don't need to happen, but I believe that if you have a platform and you want to debate about it, that's fine. But saying that need to happen, and I'm not saying this is not to like call you out or anything, but I think that's a very one set minded way to go about it because that could mean in any sort of way. You say they need to happen, well, then people could be aggressive about the debates. You know what I mean? Like we've seen debates happen on Instagram between our friends quite a few times. You've seen me in the middle of debates. You've been in the middle of debates, SW, and we all know how those turn out when we feel the need to have them and be aggressive about them and angry. They never end well for either side. We are always just fighting, and then everybody hates each other. That's not what he promoted, though. You know. I'm gonna start another timer. I don't know. I just make up some like, oh, what you'll celebrate. All right, let's see here. Oh, Mads. Okay, wait. Okay, here we go. So Mads said, when I asked her if you weren't here earlier, I asked her what she disagreed with on, and I wanted her to start with one point. He had a point about woman birth control. That's one thing I don't agree with. I get that birth control makes women angry, but some do require it because of our bodies. But I agree with the priority of cruise. Okay, so let me, because I've done my own research. This is why I like Charlie Kirk so much, and why every once in a few whiles I'd be able to have conversations with him. Um, the reason why I looked up to him is because I'm not exactly the same way, but I'm kind of in that same realm as him. That's like saying you need some sort of medication for your body. What birth control can be harmful to the body. You take too much of it, it can cause major problems. Um, Especially with having kids or ever having a kid again. It can damage you. Makes women angry. I'm not sure you understood that point exactly, if you know what I mean. I don't. So Do you mean okay, wait, let me ask you something, Matt. Do you mean makes women angry in general, like, the thought of it makes them angry? Sorry, guys, I gotta clarify this. Because, yes, it makes some women angry, some women don't wanna use it. So when they see other people using it, they're like, "Oh god, I don't agree with it." Yeah, some of them won't agree with it. I don't think it makes them per se angry. I believe that, you know, being told to use it probably upsets them, more than likely upsets them.